Hi students, welcome to the video lecture 2 of module 4 topic queuing theory. In lecture 1 we cover the topics introduction, symbols or notations used in the queuing system, what is queuing system we discussed, service system, and we saw several configuration of service system like single server, single queue, several servers, several queues, and single service server in series. In today's lecture, we'll discuss about characteristics of queuing system, one of the important topic, application of queuing theory and limitations of queuing theory. Characteristics of queuing system. In designing a good queuing system, it is necessary to have a good information about the model. The characteristics listed below would provide sufficient information. So, what are the characteristics here? The arrival pattern, the service mechanism, the queue discipline, the number of service channels, number of service stages. So, now let us see one by one. First one is the arrival pattern. Arrivals can be measured as the rate or the inter-arrival time, that is time between arrivals. Inter-arrival time is equal to reciprocal of the arrival rate. These quantities may be deterministic or stochastic given by a probability distribution. Arrivals may also come in batches of multiple customers, which is called batch or bulk arrivals. The batch size may be either deterministic or stochastic. So it might be deterministic or stochastic in nature. So first one is arrival is barking. The customer may decide not to enter the queue upon arrival, perhaps because it is too long. If a customer thinks to enter into the queue itself as the queue is long. Reneging, the customer may decide to leave the queue after waiting a certain time in it. So this kind of experience you may have come across in barber shop only, where you will wait, but if it takes more number of time, you will feel that okay, it's time we have waited for a longer time. Let us leave the queue. Next is jockeying. If there are multiple queues in parallel, the customers may switch between them. So this you people have experienced in railway reservation counter or railway ticket counter. For example, you are standing in a queue, the parallel to you will be another queue where the service will be provided in a faster rate. So if the customers move at a faster rate, you may feel to switch to that particular queue so that you will get served soon. Next is dropout. Customers may be dropped from the queue for reasons outside of their control. This can be viewed as a generalization of reneging. Okay. Next is a service pattern. As with arrival pattern, service pattern may be deterministic or stochastic. They may also be batched services. The service rate may be state dependent. This is the analog of impatience with the arrivals. So when the customer arrives, then only you will provide the service. Note that there is an important difference between arrivals and services. Service do not occur when the queue is empty. Only when the customer arrives to you and stands for the request for the service, then only you will provide the service. That's what they have mentioned here. Next is queue discipline. This is the manner by which customers are selected for service. First one is first in, first out. That is FIFO. Whoever comes first, they will be served first and they will be left out. Last in, first out. So someone comes last, but they will be served first and sent. Next is service in random order, that is represented as SIRO. Priority schemes. Priority schemes are either preemptive. Preemptive means a customer of higher priority immediately displaces any customers of lower priority already in service. The displaced customer's service may be either resumed from where it was left out or started a new. For example, if you have, it would be experienced in traditional one, I mean in temples and all. If you stand in a queue, if someone VIP comes first, darshan will be given to them, later they will give it to the general queue. Next is non-preemptive. Customers with higher priority wait current service complete before being served. Okay, so customers with higher priority also are made to wait until the service is provided to the lower priority people. Next is number of service channels. So this you people have seen in the previous lecture only. Here parallel queue and parallel servers are there, and single queue and multiple servers are there. So how the example of these things are discussed in the previous lecture only. So next is number of service stages. So this is also an example of service configuration only. Customers are served by multiple servers in series. In general, a multi-stage queue may be a complex network with feedback. So if there is no good feedback, so it is very difficult to maintain the uniformity when we have multiple stage of server. Next is application of queuing theory. Queuing theory has been applied to a great variety of business situations. Here we shall discuss a few problems where the theory may be applied. Waiting line theory can be applied to be determine the number of checkout counters needed to secure smooth and economic operation of its stored at various time during the day of a supermarket or a departmental store. So this you people have seen in a daily life. Waiting line theory can be used to analyze the delays at the toll booths of bridges and tunnels. Waiting line theory can be used to improve the customer service at restaurants, cafeteria, gasoline service station, airline counters, hospitals, etc. A detailed study is required how many customers arrive to the particular station and how many customers, how many time the customer spends in the cafeteria, restaurant and all, and how discomfort they feel waiting for get served. These all things has to be considered for making the queuing theory. Next is waiting line theory can be used to determine the proper number of docks to be constructed in the building of terminal facilities for trucks and ships. Several manufacturing firms have attacked the problem of machine breakdown and repairs by utilizing this theory. Waiting line theory can be used to determine the number of workers to be employed so that the cost of the production loss from downtime and the cost of repair is minimized. It is also used in the industry, that is in manufacturing firm. Next is limitations of queuing theory. Most of the queuing models are quite complex and cannot be easily understood. Many times form of theoretical distribution applicable to given queuing situation is not known. If the queuing discipline is not in, first out, the study of queuing problem becomes more difficult. Okay, so I conclude this lecture with this slide. So we'll meet you in the next lecture with a new topic of this particular queuing theory.